Good evening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Meetup. I am your facilitator for tonight, Erica Bishop, and it is indeed a pleasure to be with you here again tonight as we're going to talk about how to create memories with your family. So, we've been talking a lot about family this month, and we just thank God for the opportunity that we have to be with our family. So we're going to talk about different things that we can do to create some wonderful memories. And I know with all the things that we have going on currently right now, we're spending a lot of time with family, more so than normal. But it's a beautiful thing because I know for me, I have two adults. I have a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old, and they're both home right now. They're not away at school. So it feels really good to just really spend time with them and not having to wait until Thanksgiving or when they get out for break to be able to see them. Because if any of you have college students, once they go off to school, you might not talk to them for a couple of weeks because they don't necessarily always call every week to check in. So I just want to share a couple of ideas as I was thinking and researching and looking at a couple of things that would be great to just create those memories. Specifically with the holidays being just around the corner. Can you believe it is already almost September? We are almost in the last quarter of the year. And the holidays are soon approaching. And one of the things that I really enjoyed the most that I heard that there isn't going to be a lot of Black Friday. So that gives everybody an opportunity to spend time with their family. I've been in the retail, corporate America side or the retail side of corporate America for 31 years. And 25, 21, no, 21 of those years was spent in the retail stores, and I worked every Thanksgiving. I literally worked every Thanksgiving, and I didn't have an opportunity to spend with my family. But now that I'm in a different sector within retail, so to speak, I'm in distribution and supply chain as well as being a full-time entrepreneur. Um, it's been good to be able to spend time with my family and it's really been good to just enjoy them. And because our children grow so fast, it was just like yesterday. I remember them being 10 and 11 years old, and now they're 20 and 21. And my son is about to be 22. So it's really good to be able to make those memories. So it's a couple of things that I wanted to share with you, but as we do this, I want you to remember that we have to set guardrails. And what do I mean by that? We have to be fully present in the moment. When we're creating those wonderful memories, we have to be fully present in the moment. So that means no interruptions, no cell phones, no social media, just really taking the time to say it's just me and you. Now we're going to use technology and some of the different examples I'm going to give, but it's all about creating the memory. Now, one of the things I also want to share with you, where you can and if you feel comfortable to do so, if they have a friend and they want to be involved in that, get them involved, because sometimes we really don't know how that blesses someone. I know for me, I come from a very, very small family. And my ex-husband's side of the family, we're still very close to this day. They're a huge family, and to see them gather as much as they have done, and now that's a part of our family tradition. We all do it together collectively as a family. It made such a big impression on me because that wasn't something that I was used to doing, coming from a very small family. When they would get together, it would be 15 to 20 people deep. And it was like, good Lord, where all these people were going to go. But it was so much fun, and it brings so much joy. And you just kind of push all the other stuff out. And even when you're joking and laughing about some of the trials and tribulations, you get that support because laughter is truly the best medicine. And those memories you always enjoy. And we've had some fun times. We had some times that we've had to cry. But even in the times where we used to cry, we can sit around and we can laugh about them now. So it's about being fully present in the moment, and you're dedicating this time to your family. So the guardrails are no interruptions, no phone calls. This is our sacred time with the family. So
Erica,
one of the things, yes, ma'am.
sorry to jump in. Did you experience any emptiness or pre-emptiness at all?
I did because I mean I was home by myself, and I kept myself busy, and I think one of the things that helped was also being an entrepreneur. So my time was dedicated to different things. So it really wasn't a whole lot of empty because I stayed busy, but I still miss them because if anybody's ever been around my two, they full of jokes and always laughing and making a whole bunch of noise. So when the house was like really, really quiet, it was like I missed them laughing because my son has this real heavy laugh, and you can hear it all throughout the house. And Rebecca's the same way. And it was times I was like, God, I really miss them. And it was good to always have them home. Now, I didn't necessarily like the water bill going up and the light bill going up and the food bill going up, but it was always good to just have them around to laugh, to talk, to joke. And you know, we didn't watch a whole lot of TV when they came home. We just sit around and we just did a lot of talking. And that was a lot of our memories and just sharing other memories with each other. So I did, to answer your question, I did have moments when I wasn't really busy, um, that I had the emptiness syndrome.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So one of the things is that's good, especially when you have children, and even if you don't have any kids, and you're creating these memories with just your loved one or your spouse, is if you typically cook a lot, eat out once a week, but that night that you eat out, you have to rotate through the family who chooses where to go, and everybody has to agree to it. So it may be if you are a person that likes Greek food, you choose that place and everybody's going to go, and it's not, well, oh, no, I don't want to go. Everybody gets to experience something different and something new. So especially with having smaller children, that's going to be very interesting what your dinner is going to be on that particular night. So that's a good thing to do, as well as you could probably also cook together. And I love cooking with my children. I love to cook anyway, and we would have certain nights that would be dedicated to certain types of things, and I would let them choose, well, you know, what night it's going to be. You know, most people do Taco Tuesday, but we would have wings on certain nights, or I would have something fried on a particular night, or you know, pizza may be a night, or pasta may be another night. So we kind of dove into a lot of different types of food because I like to cook, you know, Greek, Italian, Cajun, and soul food. So that's kind of all up my alley of what I like to do. So every night was kind of dedicated to something different, and we just kind of planned the menu together, and we cooked together. And it was me teaching them how to cook and clean the kitchen. So that we could all take part in that. So that's one of the things that you can do. The other one, of course, is always game night. Is the best one of them all. And that's everything from Pictionary to Monopoly, of course, is always a good one. And any other games that you like to do, playing cards. If your children don't know how to play cards, for those of you who are around about my age and spades was your thing, especially when you were in school, and they may not understand what spades is because everybody know that that was the infamous card game in college, especially at the HBCU. We would have spade tournaments. So, you know, just teaching them how to play cards is always something good. And anything from an academic standpoint of that can be fun. But charades is always fun. And then you always have karaoke night. And then also to video these opportunities now with technology and phones so that you can have these memories to play back. And, you know, you can keep them in a Google Drive, just dedicated to family so that you can pass these memories on and always have them. Another one for those who like to be outdoors is to grow a garden. And with a lot of things that we have going on now, it's a must to have a garden. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be working on with my children. We're going to be planning out the backyard so we can start growing our own fruits and vegetables, because I love to have fresh fruit and vegetables. And being here in South Carolina, which is where I'm from, you have a great opportunity to have fruit trees. So growing a garden is really good. Of course, a picnic. We talked about cards, cooking together, having a pajama night with crazy pajamas is always good. I know a lot of people, if anybody remembers Fred Sanford and Sanford and Son and his red pajamas, you can get some wacky pajamas and have pajama night. Is really fun. Trying something new. So like skating, ice skating, hockey, playing pool, some different things that you can do. Now with all the different opportunities to do arts and crafts, a couple other things you can do is make t-shirts together, because you have the circuit machine that you can do that. You got the heat press machines now, and you can make family t-shirts, create a family crest. It's really good so that everyone can design the family crest. So, you know, whatever your name is or whatever your family wants to represent. So when you go out together, you could wear your t-shirts with the family crest. Of course.
Sorry, I was trying to look for my raised hand button. I can't find it. Then I end up doing the clap button. I'm sorry, Erica. You got me excited talking about these things. So I'm like, okay, I got some stuff going on my list. Do you know about a gardening app? Because we're working on landscaping and all that stuff. And someone told me about Scott's app. And I don't know if that's on the list, but Scott's, I downloaded it. I was so impressed. Anybody that's wanting to have a beautiful yard, it's like so simplistic. They ask you a little bit about what your goal is for your yard. And then after you answer like 3 questions, they immediately let you know this is the one product you need per quarter. That's it. And it wasn't super expensive, so I didn't feel like they were trying to just use the app to overcharge. They tell you what to do. They ship your little feeder with you, the little feeder with your order. And they tell you like exactly when to do it for your goal. I mean, it is so awesome. So like it's all of the fear out
Here, are you breaking up a little bit?
Like, do you have
Tiara? Okay, y'all, we may have lost her. Okay. Hello? Tiara?
She's gone.
Okay. So unfortunately she dropped out, but she'll be back. So she was talking about a couple different gardening apps, and there's another one called Smart Plant and another one called Leaf Snap. My mom, and another one called Garden Plan Pro. My mom has a green thumb. She got that from my grandmother. I haven't quite excelled in that area yet, but yes, any apps that are out there to help you plan a beautiful garden, to kind of plan the landscape of it is absolutely fun. I'm a DIY person. We have a wraparound porch, So my daughter and I, because she wants to create her outside space to study, so we're going to create on the back side of the porch, just a nice little spot for her to put up some mosquito netting and create a bench out of some the wooden pallets and put some seating out there and take some older pieces and spray paint those. So that's another thing to do, is create those outside spaces as well as you're creating a garden, creating those outside spaces for the family, because if you do go out camping, you can set up a tent in the backyard, make you a nice space, as well as doing fountains. Aren't that hard to do. It takes a little bit of work, but you can make the outdoor fountains as well to create those nice places. Because I love to cook outside too, when we can grill out, and just to have those places to do that. Of course, going to museums and national parks, and there's so many hidden jewels in places that I didn't even think of. And I love to just kind of save those places, as I see people going hiking a lot. And there are so many natural reservoirs and places where they have these beautiful waterfalls, just to spend some time outdoors and take some time walking. And it's a lot of places you can go and rent bikes and ride, because I know here downtown Charleston is one of those places where you can rent bikes and just kind of ride around the city and ride around the water. So we were talking about Arts and Crafts Day. One of the great things to do is to get some canvas. And you can get that at Michael's pretty cheap. Get some canvas and just have a paint party. And also a lot of places now, like the sip and paint places, there are a couple of other businesses, they will come to you. And if you had a group of people, I think it has to be a group of a minimum of maybe 6 or more, they will come out and it'll already be sketched, and all you have to do is fill it in. So that's a great thing to do also with the family. You have whatever it is that you want to have sketched, and each person will have an opportunity to paint their own, and everybody has that one thing. So that's a beautiful opportunity to do that. Researching your family tree is so amazing. So we've kind of started that within our family and the extended part of our family, and we're starting to connect the dots. One of the things that's really good is taking either the rev.com, and there's another one called Otter, OTTER, and just have some time to sit down with the elders in your family and let them share their stories. Now, the beautiful thing about rev.com and Otter is that they dictate it for you. So it's speech to text, and they're very accurate. And as you're recording their stories and the family history, it's going to dictate it for you, and there you have your family history already written. And it's so important to do that. And I'm so grateful that one of my great grandmother's cousins, unfortunately, just recently passed. She was close to 100 years old, but she has passed down all the family history to her daughter. So my goal is to get all of that dictated so that we can keep it going in the family history, because I'm going to create a book for my children. So pin that when we talk about creating a book. Another one is learning a new language. So it's 2 things that I want to add to that: learning a new language, and also learning the new language with the hopes that you're going to take a trip together to whatever language that you're learning, so that you can go to that place. Now, we know that traveling right now is at a minimum, but it's good to just learn the language with the family so that you can have that opportunity to speak different languages in the home. And I think it's so beautiful, especially when I see small children that have the ability to speak more than one language. I think it's absolutely wonderful. The hand sculptures These are the ones where you join your hands together and you put them in the plaster and make a mold, and all of the family members can join their hands together, and that's a wonderful thing to do. I know a lot of mommies do that when they do a cast of their bellies before they have the baby, and sometimes they even do that with their shoes and their little footprint. So that's something else you can do to make memories. Going to a farm. So when we talk about a fresh fruit and vegetable farm is really good, especially if you have a place where you could go pick strawberries and apples and berries. I was watching Monique the other night, and she was making fresh applesauce, and I thought it was so awesome because I love applesauce. And she was talking about she goes to a fresh farm where she picks her own apples and she makes her own applesauce for her family. And they were all sitting around. She had this huge bowl, and they were all sitting around just waiting for her to get finished with the fresh apples, the fresh applesauce. So that's something else that would be great to be able to do that as well. A family talent show. So this is something that, especially as we get prepared for the holidays and you are going to have family coming to the house, let them know you're going to have a talent show. So this is a great way to exchange gifts and also get prepared for the talent show. So I know in our family, we would pick names and do secret gifts. And then you can also do gag gifts up under a certain amount. So with that, you could also do a talent show and come together and what type of gift you're going to give for the talent show. And of course, recording all of this is definitely a must because you want to be able to share that with the family. So a talent show is great. There aren't a lot of drive-ins around. I think there's one close to us. It's about 2 hours away, but there's so many great things now that you can create a drive-in at home in your backyard. So one of the things that you can do, especially if you have small children or even teenagers, they can create their own cars out of cardboard. Whoever has the best car could get a prize, and they drive up to their drive-in in the backyard. So you can get the big screens, and now they have the projectors in a lot smaller sizes now that you can use outdoors, and they also have some that are Bluetooth. So that's another great way to create some fun, is to make your own drive-in outside. And of course, a white sheet is just as good as anything else. If you can't get the big screen, you can also get a white sheet, and that goes a long way. And of course, going to the beach is always fun, but also picking those remote beaches in places where most people wouldn't go, not the ones that are full of people. Like here, Myrtle Beach is always running over with people, and so is Hilton Head. But we have places like Folly Beach and Isle Palms, are small places that you can go. And if you're not necessarily into the beach, going to the mountains is another great place to do as well. Water balloon fights and water gun fights are always going to be the best thing, putting those your family in teams. And if you even get an opportunity to go play laser tag. So I had so much fun with my family. We all went to a theme park and we all went to go play laser tag, and we had an absolutely wonderful time. Making a family collage and also having a vision party for the family. Everybody can have their own cork board or whatever big size board and bring all their things together, and that's a good way to be a part of each other's visions and dreams and keeping each other encouraged, is to create a vision for the family. What does it look like to put a vision board together for the family as a whole, and then each individual person having their vision and displaying it in one place together, so everyone can root for each other, support each other, and making sure and celebrate when those things do come to pass. So another thing is, of course, planning a camping trip. We talked about going to a waterfall, And we know that TikTok has been one of the biggest things as far as apps that's out there. And I've seen so many families doing some wonderful videos on TikTok. But one of the other things when we talked about giving back to your community is volunteering together. And this is where the t-shirts can come in that can be great, is creating the t-shirts for the family as you go out as a family unit to volunteer in the community is absolutely wonderful as well. Creating a scavenger hunt is really good. Because I know when I was a lot younger, being at my great grandmother's house, she had pecan trees in the yard, and it was so much fun at Easter when we would do the Easter egg hunt. And she had a huge yard, and one of the things that I remember most about that is that my great grandmother planted tulips every year, and she would have a yard full of the most beautiful tulips and lilies, and I love them to this day. And that's one of the things that I love to plant when I can in memory of her is tulips and lilies. And also you could name stars and planets after each other and give each other the certificates. There's something else that you can do. Now, one of the other things that I really like that I saw was chatbooks.com. Chatbooks is also an app as well as Shutterfly. So with both of these that I thought was really cool, that you can take a portrait and turn it into a puzzle. And you can do as much as big as 550 pieces to as much as 2,000 or 5,000 pieces. So there's a company also called puzzleu.com. They are based out of Germany. And you can take any portrait and turn it into a huge puzzle. Now, the beautiful thing about this is if you have a family portrait, you can upload any picture that you want, and it comes in a custom box, and you can put that portrait together as a family. And even if you wanted to send it as a gift to your son or daughter who maybe get married, graduating, this is a great opportunity to spend some time together and putting that puzzle together. And even if you didn't necessarily want them to know what the picture was, you could hide the picture and just let them put it together and then frame that as well. So that's another great thing that you can do, is taking a picture and putting it into a puzzle. Now, Chatbooks will take your Instagram posts and put them into a book, as well as your photos and put them into a book. And you can do this once a month. So you can upload monthly what photos you want to put into a book, especially with small children as they're growing and life is changing. And even as teenagers going into adulthood and different stages of their life, you can take all of their photos and put them into a book, which is absolutely fun because they will always have those photos and you can share them with the family. So if you say, for instance, took a photo shoot with the family or just were out at all the traveling that you have done, and you have all of these photos in all these different places, you could put them together and make books for everybody. So that's a great gift to give. If you have made these memories with your family, you could take all of those photos, send them to Shutterfly and all these different places, as well as Chatbooks, and create those memories to be able to share with your family. One of the ones that I love the most is creating your own traditions. And it doesn't necessarily have to be around a holiday, but pick a day. Pick a day that's significant to your family and create your own tradition. Whether it is this night is going to be seafood night or soul food night, or everybody comes together with their own favorite thing, and you may wear a particular color, who has the craziest outfit in this color, or who has the craziest hairdo. Whatever makes your family happy, in creating that tradition is creating that memory. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the love. It's all about the laughter. It's all about the joy, and it's all about the love that pushes out all the negative things that we may have endured and experienced, and the gratitude that we have to be with each other. One of the things that I believe in firmly, and I know many of you do, give each other flowers while you have the opportunity to do them. And flowers can be physically, and flowers can come in just gratitude, love, and times of expression. You can interview each other and ask each other questions and let each other record the answers and all come together and play them together, and see what everyone's answer is. And that's another great way to share some intimate moments with your family. So you all, these were just a couple of things that I wanted to share with you when we talk about spending time and making those memories. And next week, we're going to talk about building a legacy. And there's some great things that's out there that we can do as family to build legacy so that the family name can live on long after we have departed here. The name of the family, the love of the family, the character of the family, the mission and vision of the family can live on for generations to come. So I thank you all for this time. I pray that this was good for you. And please, ask any other questions in reference to how you can create those memories for your family. This is a great time to do so, as the world has kind of been on pause a little bit, as we are making the best out of some unusual circumstances. It's about creating that time of love and laughter that we can look back on and say that was great times that we have had. I love you all, and we're going to open it up if there's any questions or any comments before we end our broadcast for tonight.
Erica, we do not have any specific questions, but I think that everyone should make sure that they go back and just listen to all of the tools that you have shared with us. So many websites and apps and just ideas about, taking your family time to another level. I really appreciate the things that you share, even just, the puzzle thing. I've seen that before, and I'm like, that is so cute.
It is not expensive. It's really not expensive, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, I definitely want to look into that. And so we love a good family night over here, like game night and that kind of thing. But I love the idea of just expanding it to some other activities, particularly, we've been at home together for a while now.
Yes,
so we need
ma'am.
some new activities.
Ooh, yes.
We need some new activities. Yes. So
Yes.
this is good. This is really good. So I encourage everyone to make sure they go back and listen and, maybe save this video. So when you're looking for some new things to do with your young people and your entire families, that you can just kind of run through and find some ideas.
All right. Well, I thank you all so much. You all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have an outstanding week and make some memories. Every day, create an opportunity to make a new memory. Love you all. Have a blessed night.